Hey guys, I am back and today I am going to be recapping the products that I wanted to use up in 2023. So if you missed this video, I did a goal setting video at the beginning of the year where I talked about the products that I wanted to use up in 2023, and I will link that and my mid-year update in the description box below. And other than that, we are just going to hop straight into it. I have the list of the products that I had originally set out to use, the ones still left sitting in front of me, and some numbers based off of how things panned out. So the first three items were all primers. I wanted to use up my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, my Smashbox Primerizer Mini, and my Revlon Smoothing Primer. I was able to completely use up the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer and the Smashbox Primerizer Mini, and then the only primer that I did not use up was the Revlon Smoothing Primer, and that's because I gifted it to someone. So 3 out of 3 primers are no longer in my collection. I ended up gifting the Revlon primer and one other product, which was the Beauty Neo Sunset Liquid Blush, because they were both giftable. The Revlon one I had not used at all. I never even opened it. And then the Beauty Neo one, my roommate was commenting on how she thought it looked pretty, and I really didn't like that blush. So I decided to give both of those away because really the only reason to keep them would be so that I could try and use them up this year and then talk about them in this video. But I thought that as a product, they would have a much happier, they would be used more happily in someone else's home. So those were the 2 products that I did give away. And then the last base product I had, my Mario Badescu facial spray, which I used up, but I no longer have the empty packaging with me. That was a mini of their full size, so it's like, I think it was like 3 ounces or something. And then the next 2 products were cheek products. First is my Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette. I said, I don't even remember exactly what I said, but the goal has been to use this up for many, many years now. I've had this in my collection for I think like 7 years. And I will try to find a picture of what this was looking like at the beginning of the year, but this is what it's looking like now. So I used up 1 full pan, most of another pan, and a little bit of this because it keeps breaking. So I use up what falls out. So given the fact that I've been able to use up about a pan and a half of eyeshadow, or not of eyeshadow, of bronzer, I'm thinking that maybe I could use up another pan and a half next year, but we'll see how that actually works out once I start doing my makeup next year. I promise I am not crying. I stabbed myself in the eye with an eyeliner. The culprit is sitting here with us right now, and my eye will just not stop watering. So I'm sorry if this is distracting, but it's been like 8 minutes and it still won't stop. So we're just gonna keep on going. The next product was something that I also did not use up, but I did reach for more than I would otherwise, and that is my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten. I used this up 30 times through my 20 in 2023 project pan. It's a pretty highlighter, not groundbreaking, and I don't know, I guess I think I've hit a point where I don't think I'm ever going to use this up completely. In order to do so, I would have to use it like every single day for the next like 2 or 3 years. And I don't like it more than all of my other highlights. So I just don't think it's realistic to expect me to do that. I'll keep it around. I will focus on it. If I want body highlighter, I might reach for it because it does blend in nicely with a moisturizer, more so than I think some powder highlighters do. But I do think that this year, after I used it 30 times and it did not look at all different, made me think, okay, well, if I used it every single day, it might look slightly different, and kind of discouraged about the idea of using this up in its entirety ever. Another product that, I don't know, it's still kicking around is my, the Creme Shop Eyebrow Pom Pom. As you can see, I have very little product left, but I feel like now I'm reaching a point where the more I use it, the more it looks the same. I don't even know anymore. A part of me kind of wants to like smush it down along the bottom and start fresh on my measurements of it. And I might just do that because it's starting to get real crusty. I don't know if I could use this up in another year. I use this almost every single time I do my makeup, unless I'm doing like a challenge or I'm trying to pan an eyeshadow that works in my brows. So I just think we're reaching a point with this where I might be able to use it up, but it's also just getting really dry, so maybe. The next product that I have in this list that I also did not use up is this Cargo Cosmetics Swimmables eyeshadow stick, longwear eyeshadow stick. This is how much I have left. This is actually like not a ton of product. Honestly, if I had focused on it more throughout the year, I probably could have finished it up, but and it is what it is. I pan a lot of things. It's hard to like decide which things are going to take the most priority and to know how much time each thing is going to need for me to dedicate to it. When I started the year, it was this long and now it's this long. So I used up like, I would say 2/3 of the product, and it would probably take me 3 months of consistent use to use up the rest of it. And it's a beautiful shade. I don't dislike this shade at all. The next product I did use up, which was my Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. That one I had already had in a project pan. It was actually pretty easy to use up, and I included it in a project pan this year. Then we have the culprit for the tearful eye, which is my Lancome Eye Kohl in the shade Black Coffee. Although there is product left, I am kind of reaching a point with this where I think I might just get rid of it for 2 reasons. One, it's teeny tiny, and 2, I'm having a hard time using it because it's so little, and whenever you sharpen it, it'll like break off. The wood is kind of splintery, and I'm starting to get to a point where I'm not loving using it near my eye. So although this didn't get used up this year, it might get thrown out at the end of the year. And for reference on that, it started at up here and now here, so I used up about half of what was left. This liquid liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was a mistake to include because I should have opened it before I included it. I try not to open liquid liners before I'm ready to use them because I don't want them to start drying out. This I thought was a regular pen liquid liner like the Stila and the Kat Von D ones, but no, it's a little pot of liner and this comes out. I struggle using this really badly. Like I make a mess almost every time. I kind of have to like create the wing with eyeshadow and then go over it with this. And at that point, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do that. Or pick up the product on my MAC liner brush and apply it that way. Also kind of a hassle. So I think this product just wasn't meant for me. Also, the packaging is starting to crack, which I don't know how I feel about that. And so this is not a product meant for me. And it makes applying my eyeliner like 300 times harder than it has to be. So I'm not even sad that I didn't use it up. Then I have some lip products. So 2 that I didn't use up, and then I'll talk about the ones that I did use up. My NARS District Velvet Lip Glide. District is the shade. This I do like wearing as a cheek product. I just reached a point where I was tired of using lipsticks as cheek products because I had so many other ones that I used up this year that way, that I have been wearing this as a lip product, but obviously progress is going to be slower that way. I don't know if this is my favorite formula for the lips. I think some of the shades are better than others. This one in particular isn't my favorite. It's kind of a hybrid liquid lipstick / stain, and because this shade is so light, it doesn't really stain my lips, and so it's just not really my favorite formula for this kind of nude. But on the cheeks, it is really beautiful. I don't think I'll get rid of it because I do like it on the cheeks, and I occasionally do enjoy wearing it on the lips. It's just not my favorite nude. And then another product that I made an effort to use this year is my Stila Magnificent Liquid or Magnificent Lipstick in the shade Soiree. As you may know, this had a traumatic experience this year. I like smushed, I was playing with it and clicking it up and down, and I rolled it up and smushed it inside the lid, and then did a makeup surgery to get it to go back into the bullet. So this has seen a lot this year. It also saw I would say about 40 uses. I included it in my 20 and 2023 project pan, used it I believe 36 times through that project, and then I used it a handful of times before. And I have genuinely no clue how much progress is from the product lost when I repotted it or re-sticked it, and how much of the product was used up from my use. It's a pretty lipstick. It's just so old and it's so messy now that I screwed it up. I think this might be something that I appreciate for how much I got to use it and enjoy it this year, and then I let it go now. Then I used up 5 other lip products. So the first was my Revlon Fresh Tint Lip Balm in the shade Peach. Tinted lip balm, super easy to use up. Then I have my Bite Lip Crayon Mini in the shade Glacé. Another product that was super easy to use. I really like that lip product. I believe I included it in this project pan. It was only this long. Oh wait, no, that's my Peach Tinted Lip Balm. This is the Bite product. Very small amounts of product, so not terribly difficult to use. I'm glad I got them out of my collection just to use things up. Then I have my Nude Sticks lip pencil in the shade Purity, which I do still have. This is all that remains out of it, and I am really happy I got to use another one of these up. This is one of my favorite lip and cheek formulas out of all of the products that I have that are marketed for lips and cheeks. And then I used up 2 Buxom lip glosses. This one's in the shade Moscow Mule, and this one's in the shade Dolly. I used up Moscow Mule first. I really, really love this one. Just the shade of it's perfect. But overall, this is a great gloss formula, and I could probably use up 1 to 2 a year, no problem, if I just pick one and use it every day. So those are all of the products that I wanted to use up in 2023. I used up 9. I didn't hit my goal on 8, and I decluttered 2. So overall, 11 out of the 29 products, 11 out of the 19 products got moved out of my collection, and that makes me really happy. And then 8 are still sticking around, a few of which are kind of on the chopping block to get decluttered, and then a few of which I am happy to continue using into future years. So that is everything for today's video. If you liked this video, my products I want to pan in 2024 video will be coming up later this week. Please check that out, and please stick around. I've got a lot of project panning content coming up in December and January and throughout 2024. So I really hope that you enjoy, and I get to see you in a future video. Have an amazing day, you guys. Thanks, guys.